You're sitting in a meeting. Someone's taking credit for work that isn't theirs. Everyone's nodding along. You know the truth. You were there. You saw what really happened. But you stay quiet. Or maybe you're with a group of friends, and someone makes a comment that's straight up wrong. Maybe it's racist, maybe it's cruel, maybe it's just ignorant. Everyone laughs uncomfortably. You feel it in your gut, this ain't right. But you stay quiet. Later, you're alone. And that silence, it eats at you. Because somewhere deep down, you know, staying silent when you should speak up, that's not protecting your peace. That's betraying yourself. Today, we're talking about why standing up for the truth is one of the hardest things a human can do. And why most of us fail at it. Every single day. Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain is literally wired to stay silent in uncomfortable situations. It's not a moral failing. It's biology. Your nervous system is screaming, don't rock the boat. Don't make waves. Stay safe. But here's the problem, safety and integrity don't always align. Sometimes, doing the right thing means risking everything. Your reputation. Your relationships. Your comfort. Your job. And your brain knows that. So it shuts you down before you even open your mouth. But what if I told you that every time you stay silent when you should speak up, you're not just failing the situation, you're failing yourself? Let's break down what's really happening. Let's get into the neuroscience, because this is wild. When you witness something wrong and you think about speaking up, your brain doesn't just think, oh, this is uncomfortable. Your brain perceives it as a threat. A legitimate, evolutionary, survival-level threat. Why? Because for 99% of human history, being cast out of your social group meant death. Not metaphorical death, actual death. You couldn't survive alone. No tribe meant no protection, no food, no mates, no future. So your brain evolved this incredibly sensitive alarm system for social rejection. And speaking up, especially when everyone else is going along with something, that's social risk. That's potential rejection. That's your brain screaming, danger. You might get kicked out of the tribe. This is called the bystander effect combined with social conformity. When everyone else is silent, your brain assumes staying silent is the safe play. When everyone's nodding along, your brain says, follow the group. And here's the really messed up part, the more people who are staying silent, the stronger your urge to stay silent too. It's not about being weak. It's about your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, keep you socially safe. But we're not in tribes of 50 anymore. We're not gonna die if Karen from HR doesn't like us. Yet our brain still reacts like we are. So when you're sitting there, knowing you should speak up, your amygdala is flooding your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Your mouth goes dry. Your heart races. Your thoughts get foggy. Classic threat response. And in that moment, silence feels like survival. Speaking up feels like suicide. But here's the truth, that feeling is lying to you. Because here's what happens when you stay silent. In the moment, yeah, you feel relief. You dodged the confrontation. You stayed safe. You didn't make waves. But then you're alone. And that's when the real damage starts. Psychologists call it moral injury, the deep psychological damage that happens when you violate your own values. When you know what's right and you do nothing. It's not the same as guilt. Guilt is, I did something bad. Moral injury is, I failed to do something good. I betrayed myself. And that eats at you in ways most people don't understand. You start losing respect for yourself. You look in the mirror and see someone who folds under pressure. Someone who chooses comfort over courage. Someone who knows better but does worse. And the worst part? It gets easier every time. The first time you stay silent, it's hard. You feel terrible. But then it happens again. And again. And each time, it's a little easier to justify. It's not my place. Someone else will say something. It's not worth the drama. I don't want to make it awkward. And before you know it, you've become the person who always stays quiet. The person who witnesses injustice and does nothing. Not because you don't care, but because you've trained yourself not to act. This is how good people become complicit. Not through evil. Through silence. And the crazy thing? The thing you were afraid of, social rejection, you end up giving that to yourself anyway. You reject yourself. You lose trust in yourself. You know you're not living with integrity, and that knowledge haunts you. So you didn't risk external rejection, but you guaranteed internal rejection. And low-key. That's worse.
So if you're a good person, and life feels heavy right now, remember, your pain is proof that your soul is still pure. And one day, the world will recognize the light you carry inside. Don't let this world harden your heart. Because kindness, even when unseen, always matters.
So what actually happens when you speak up? In the moment, yeah, it's uncomfortable. People might get defensive. They might argue. They might even turn on you. Your hands might shake. Your voice might crack. You might stumble over your words. But you know what else happens? You find out who you really are. Because standing up for truth reveals character. Not just yours, everyone's. Some people will respect you more. Even if they don't agree, they'll respect that you had the guts to say something. Some people will thank you privately later, "I'm glad you said something. I was thinking it too." And yeah, some people will be mad. Some will try to make you the problem. Why are you making this a big deal? You're being too sensitive. You're causing drama. Let them be mad. Their discomfort with truth is not your responsibility. And here's the real shift, your relationship with yourself changes. You walk away from that situation, regardless of the outcome, and you know, I didn't fold. I didn't betray myself. I stood for something. And that feeling? That's self-respect. That's integrity. That's the foundation of genuine confidence. Not the fake confidence that comes from being liked by everyone. The real confidence that comes from being aligned with your own values. You start to realize, I can trust myself. When it matters, I show up. And over time, this compounds. Each time you speak up, it gets a little easier. Not because you're less afraid, but because you've proven to yourself that you can handle it. You've rewired your brain. You've shown your nervous system, yeah, this is scary, but we survive. And not only that, we feel better after. And eventually, staying silent becomes more uncomfortable than speaking up. Because you've tasted what integrity feels like, and you can't go back to betraying yourself. Alright, so how do you actually do this? How do you override your biology and speak up when everything in you is screaming to stay quiet? Here's the framework. Step 1, know your non-negotiables. Before the moment happens, decide what you stand for. What are your values? What's your line? You can't make good decisions in the heat of the moment if you haven't decided in advance what matters to you. Write it down. I speak up when I witness racism, bullying, injustice, credit theft, mistreatment. Whatever your lines are, define them now. Because when the moment comes, you won't have time to think. You need to already know, this is a non-negotiable for me. Step 2, start small. You don't have to be Malcolm X on day 1. Start with low-stakes situations. Correct someone who gets a fact wrong. Share a different perspective in a group chat. Speak up when someone's being mildly unfair. Build the muscle. Train your nervous system. Show your brain, we can do this. It's uncomfortable but we survive. Step 3, use the pause. When you witness something that demands response, take a breath. 3 seconds. Ground yourself. This isn't hesitation, it's preparation. You're activating your prefrontal cortex, not just your amygdala. In that pause, ask yourself, what do I need to say? How can I say it clearly and calmly? Because yelling rarely works. Calm truth hits harder than emotional reaction. Go of the outcome. You can't control how people respond. You can only control what you say and how you say it. Some people will hear you. Some won't. Some will respect you. Some will resent you. None of that matters as much as this: did you honor yourself? Did you speak your truth? That's the only thing you can control. And it's the only thing that matters for your integrity. Here's what they don't tell you about standing up for truth: it's contagious. When you speak up, you give other people permission to do the same. How many times have you seen this? One person says something, and then suddenly others join in. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm glad someone said it. They were waiting for someone to go first. And you going first freed them. Your courage becomes their courage. And it doesn't just affect that moment. It changes how people see you. How you see yourself. It shifts the culture of every space you're in. Workplaces where people speak up are healthier. Families where truth is valued are stronger. Friendships where honesty is expected are deeper. But someone has to start it. Someone has to be willing to be uncomfortable first. And yeah, you might lose some people. People who don't want truth, who prefer comfortable lies, who need everyone to go along with the program. They might not stick around. Good. Let them go. Because the people worth having in your life, they'll respect you more. They'll trust you more. They'll know, this person has a backbone. This person stands for something. And you'll attract different people. People who value integrity. People who speak up too. People who make you better, not comfortable. Your life changes when you start living in truth. Not just the truth you speak, the truth of who you are. So here's the bottom line. Every time you stay silent when you should speak up, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you speak up, you reclaim it. It's not about being perfect. You'll mess up. You'll say the wrong thing. You'll speak up sometimes and wish you hadn't. You'll stay silent sometimes and regret it. That's being human. But the trajectory matters. Are you moving toward courage or away from it? Are you becoming someone who speaks truth, or someone who lets truth die in silence? Because the world doesn't need more people who stay comfortable. It needs people who stand up. Even when their voice shakes. Even when they're scared. Even when they stand alone. That person could be you. That person should be you. Not because you're a hero. But because you refuse to betray yourself anymore. Stand up for the truth. Not because it's easy. Because it's right. And because you deserve to live with integrity. If this video made you rethink your relationship with truth and silence, subscribe to Truth Inside Us. We're building a community of people who choose courage over comfort. Drop a comment: have you ever regretted staying silent? Or regretted speaking up? Let's be real about this struggle. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's been staying quiet when they should speak. Someone who needs permission to stand up. Because courage is contagious. And maybe this video is the nudge they need. I'll see you in the next one. Stand up. Speak up. The truth needs you.